Nigeria. Best place to work.
Yeah, best place to work, yes. Yes, Andela is in the news again for good. So can you tell us how this started, the fundraising, and what this is bringing to the table for you guys?
Okay, thank you. It's a huge deal. Let me start from there.
Yes.
It's a huge deal to us. This fund was, this series D was led by a company called Generation Investment Management Fund. They are an $18.6 billion fund, and they are into sustainability research. They were attracted to us because they believe the future of work is distributed, and that's one. Two, they believe there are not going to be enough software developers to build the technology and the future of tomorrow. Fortunately, those are two things that we are doing, so they were really interested in us, and that was how this whole thing came on.
Yes.
Also, our current investors, institutional investors, were also part of this round, and so that's why I say it's a huge deal, because it's at the heart of it. It's first of all a testament to what we've been doing. It's the faith. It shows the faith that our investors have in us to be able to go on to this Series D. So that we're very grateful for that. That's a testament to the hard work that has gone on. It will also help us do more.
Okay.
A lot more. We've done all this over the last 4 years, collected our data, our research. We have seen that the future of work is distributed. That's what we're doing. But it's a sort of relatively new concept. So part of what this funding will help us do is invest in the technology.
Okay.
The technology that would help, first, on one hand, our developers. As you know, one of the things that Andela does, first of all, we believe that brilliance is evenly distributed. And one major thing that we want to do is put Africa in the center of the technology revolution. We don't want to just be recipients or sitting down. We want to drive it. We want to contribute. The best way to do that is to find smart, young Africans, Nigerians who have this potential, and then give them the right resources, infrastructure, learning science to become world-class developers. So we have been doing that. An investment in technology will help us to do this better, to identify the talent, because part of identifying, we do assessments, we have interviews, we do a boot camp session, we have learning facilitators, we have coaches, we have mentors, but we need to invest in technology so we can scale. So even in terms of how we identify, we need to invest in technology that will help us do that better. In terms of developing the software engineers, how they learn, we need to invest in technology that will help the learning process to scale, so that when we're talking about dealing with 100,000 developers, we can do this at scale. And,
at the moment, how many developers do you have at the moment?
Well, we have about 1,100, over 1,000 in our 4 offices. Continent. We're in Nigeria, where we have the most number of developers. We're in Kenya, we're in Uganda, and we have a new Pan-African hub in Rwanda.
Okay. Looking at the guys you already have, and the new talents you want to build, what are those specific areas you want to kind of develop? Talking about technology, infrastructure, you're talking about
specific areas in the business, or
yes, in the business.
It's all the things you mentioned. So it's the technology we want to expand. So it's also the infrastructure. Like I said, we're in 4 countries. We go to other countries, and even within countries, we are looking at how to expand, how to find the talent, and just how to sustain what we've been doing so far. So, yes.
Okay. I know. Let me just take a little bit about in terms of recruitment, how to get the young talents, because people out there are kind of confused. How are you able to sustain this over the last 4 years?
Okay. Well, I mean, first of all, it's easy in that when I say it's easy, let's talk about Africa. 1.2 billion people. Africa is a continent with the largest youth population. So you already have the raw, raw talent there. Nigeria, bringing it home, is the biggest country in Africa by size. And I keep saying this, the next country to us, Ethiopia, is half our size. So when you talk about the potential, we already have it in numbers. We already have the quantity. We have the raw potential. So what it is that we're looking for is just basically harnessing that. We have the numbers, we have, and you probably know this, and a lot of people know this too. Nigerians are brilliant. Africans are brilliant. We are, what we're looking for is not just the regular intelligence. We're looking for that potential. We're looking for grit. We're looking for people that are willing to learn and are fast learners, people who are determined. And I remember somebody was cracking a joke that, if you take someone from another nationality, let me not mention any nationality, to say I don't know, some country, 10 years later, they may not have learned the language. You take a Nigerian there, within 1 week, they have started conversing, so we learn really fast. Africans have that potential. So it is easy. But having said that, the whole process of how to get the top talent is rigorous.
Okay.
And that's why our acceptance rate is not, is not high. It's really, really stringent. We have assessments, technical assessments. We have interviews.
Okay. We
have the on-site boot camp, and where you actually come and we're assessing you. We're not just looking at how you're coding, we're looking at your values. That's very important to us, your values. We're looking at, like I said, how fast you learn. So I like to give this example just to make it simple. You come into our boot camp at a 20% level. By the end of the boot camp, you're 70%. Somebody else came in at 70 and is 75. We'd likely take the person at 20%. Why? Because that's the world of technology. I use the example of your phone. I mean, a new model comes every month. Things are changing, so you need people who can adapt, who can learn fast, and all of that. So that's.
I know Andela has interest in giving more women opportunity. Can you tell us about this?
Yes, I mean it's Andela right now. The percentage of women that we have is about 26%. It doesn't look a lot, but when you look at the global average, even in Silicon Valley for tech companies, it's about 7%. So we're actually doing much better. Having said that, we can do more. Why are we interested? It's not just about women, and I like to say it's about diversity. Diversity is how we outcompete. Diversity is how we win as a race, as a human race. Because we're talking about building the best products, advancing humanity, doing things that have never been done before. You need all perspectives. You need the different lenses. So it's actually better when you are diverse. And so that's why we're pushing for women and men and diversity, so that we can do more, we can do better.
Okay. What's the percentage you're looking at? Maybe at the end of this year, you'll say
the percentage is more. That's what I'll keep saying, more.
Yeah.
More.
Okay. From this, still on the funding. Do you intend having more offices in Nigeria? I know having an office in Lagos is something that everybody looks forward to, but I know there are some other places in Nigeria, somewhere in Southeast, South. Those guys are yearning to be part of Andela. So what's the have to say about this?
It's a good question. So there's a balance here. We're talking about the future of work being distributed, which means you can work from anywhere, and that's what we're promoting. And I do believe that we will get to that stage where you can sit down in your home and do everything. Having said that, you are right. We're not yet there. We don't have all the infrastructure, and that's one of the reasons Andela has provided this infrastructure, such that people can come and work. They're exposed to the rest of the world. They're working with partners everywhere, right here from their home base, with the infrastructure that we provide them. Yes. So we will still do more of that. At the end of the day, it's not just about opening an office for the sake of an office. It really is about the talent. So yes, we are interested in wherever the talent is, and where there's a case for that, we will go there. But we're also looking for partnerships. And in this light, this is where I say the government is really important. Because opening up offices and infrastructure, it's also a lot of cost, right? No problem. But for us to do more, the more help we get, the more we can do. So it's something that we're really open to. What we're going to be looking at with these funds, but also looking at with partnerships.
Okay, I know one of the things Andela has done in the last 4 years is putting Nigeria on the global map in terms of international companies trying to take up your talent, those you have groomed. In the last year, how has it been with this program and the sustainability of some of the guys' best hands you have? Because some people are saying if you have the best hands, give them the quality training, and they're not here to work for you or with you. Have you benefited? So that's the kind of question people are asking. So, but how do you put this together? Companies are looking to get from you, to poach from you, and at the same time you need those guys to move. So, how's it been?
Yeah, that is just the truth. I'd like to look at it as a compliment, because people wouldn't want to poach from. When you're doing something good, people always want to come and take from you, and of course some people will go, but there is a case for being here, and the Andelas that are here and have stayed here this long know why they're here. They started on a journey. It's a 4-year fellowship. every single day of that fellowship means something to the Andelan that is here, to Andela as a whole, to Nigeria, and to what we're doing. So some people will go, but a lot of people that are here believe in what is being done, and that's why they continue to stay. They also know that it's an investment. When Andelas come in, we say brilliance is evenly distributed. So you come in, you're not paying anything. We're literally paying you to learn, right? Because we believe given the right infrastructure, right environment, brilliant people will blossom. So you do all of that, but the only reason we can do that is because others who came in stayed on. They also stayed on so that they could invest in the next set of people coming in. As they work with partners, our partners they're interested in our mission, but at the end of the day, they are trying to solve the shortage of talent. So they're ready to pay for that. But part of that payment is flowed into the developers doing the work, but also to bring in more. It's an investment into the future. So those who understand the dream, those who understand that they're here not just for themselves but for the future, they stay on and they put their all into what they're doing.
In one of your comments, you said that the future of work is remote. But looking at infrastructure wise here in Nigeria, do you think that is something we can do in the very close time, or are you talking about 5-10 years or something?
I wish I could see the future. I can, and that's why it's the future. But I mean, the first thing is to even get people aware that it is the possibility. I feel like the more people know that the future of work is distributed and they're already seeing it. I mean, statistics show that 80% of developers actually prefer that mode. By the time people see that and see that it's working, so that's what Andela has started. We started this as a dream, a crazy dream. When we started distributed, people are like, what is that? But people have seen that this can work. So it's catching on, and that's the dream, that it will continue to catch on. And as it catches on, the people that need to provide the enabling infrastructure, our government and all that, will also see that possibility and put what needs to be put in place. For instance, Rwanda, I use that as an example. We have an office there. One of the reasons that was able to take off and has been able to take off is because the government is really interested in this future of work and has made the necessary investments in terms of infrastructure, in terms of partnering with Andela. So we believe and we hope that more people that catch on to that, the faster we'll get to that future.
Thank you very much. As a way of rounding up, I know you have a lot of things you're doing. I want to speak to the women in Nigeria, especially girls, who may have interest in ICT but feel that this is something I can't do. I want you to talk to them.
Thank you so much. I use every opportunity to talk to them. So even if you hadn't asked me, I would have seized this opportunity. And I'm talking to all the women out there, the young ladies, the women. We need you. I've just said that it's with diversity that we will win as a human race. There's a perspective that you bring that nobody else has. There's something that you bring to the table that nobody else has. We need that. But it starts with belief. And I know that many people think, oh, can I do this? Do I really belong in technology? And I like to say, use me as your inspiration. I'm not an engineer. I don't have a background in technology, but I'm the country director of an engineering firm that is changing the world. So if you need inspiration, just look at me. And if you're interested, go to www.andela.com and just reach out to any one of us and we can tell you more about how to be part of this movement.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Nice speaking with you. Thank you.